Okay, welcome back again to some Wargame Red Dragon action. It's going to be 1 versus 1 naval game on the map Into the Blue. Or is it Out of the Blue? No, Out of the Blue. Whoops. We'll just go straight to it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is actually going to be quite the action-packed naval game. I know that some people from Wargame Red Dragon complain about it a bit. I reckon it's still pretty good, and this game is hopefully going to prove it. So it's actually going to be a packed mirror, but as you can see right from the get-go, we're going to be going by... actually, we'll just do it from the opponent's perspective. As you can see from the get-go, both players are going to be going for different doctrines. As you can see for myself, a lightman, I'm going with a couple of helicopters to scout, a couple of nudge-ins to act as cheap cappers. And my opponent is going to be Nido. He's going to be going for Janku free frigates, and yeah, just to use for capping presumably. And he's also going to be going for a whole bunch of Nanushka frees and Tarantula frees as well. We just call them Nanushkas and Tarantulas. So Nanushkas being anti-air, I believe. Oh, right, they have to actually appear before I can see information about them. So yeah, Nanushkas being long-ranged anti-air ships, basically, with some anti-ship missiles, and Tarantula frees being basically missile ships for packed. They've got the longest. I guess it's going to be replacing them with a couple of Nanushkas with Tarantula frees. Anyway, the Tarantulas have got the longest anti-ship missile range in the game, tied with the Udaloy and the Sovereign class destroyers. But at the same time, they're not command ships. They're kind of pricey, and they've got next to no health, so definitely glass cannons. But he does have the Muna to resupply them. Actually, how many missiles are there? They don't have that many either, actually, per ship. And it does have a Nanushka free, so yeah, very long range against aircraft to help protect them. The Janku free is just going to be used as slightly more expensive cappers. As for myself, I did actually spawn in a few more things, and I actually made a bit of a mistake at the beginning of the game. So putting in Tarantula frees, I believe when I actually spawned them in, I was thinking that they were more like the Nanushkas, but they're not actually. They're the aforementioned glass cannon missile ships. But yeah, what the hell? I mean, I've got Tarantulas as well, and they should actually more so be deployed in a group rather than separate, especially since they don't have that many anti-ship missiles themselves. But whatever, the Najin is going to be sent over to their respective points. Helicopter is going to be doing a bit of scouting, and my Komars are basically going to be the main offensive thrust for the time being for myself. So they're basically river-going ships, can't be targeted by anti-ship missiles. They get a couple of their own, they're cheap, and apart from that, they only get a crappy little gun for self-defense, and they don't have particularly much strength. So NATO has a pretty good hard counter, a few hard counters against them, and they're still pretty nifty little ships, actually, even if they're not using their Tiamat anti-ship missiles. They got decent range against planes and helicopters for such cheap little units. Well, in terms of the main gun, anyway. So that's something. In any case, we've got some missiles flying in from the Tarantula frees, and yeah, the Najin is going to be taking a bit of damage. Down he goes. Najin, thankfully, is going to be capturing Foxtrot pretty quickly. Just have a look. Can you actually see that? No, you cannot. You can see the helicopter there, and my Komar is all going to be firing missiles. Just hide the hull and... not the hull, hide the HUD. Managing to take out, I think, one of the Tarantulas there. A bit overkill, actually, going with that many missiles, but nonetheless, that's what happens. And, yeah, Komar is at least managing to do a bit of damage in return. Well, they took out a Najin, I took out a Tarantula. I believe the Tarantula costs more. Yep, costs more than a cheap old Najin. My Tarantula's still alive though. For some reason wow, okay. I don't think it's actually done anything with its own anti-ship missiles at all. A bit of a mistake by myself leaving that on. Sucks, what can you do? This Najin is going to be surviving though. On the other hand, we do have another Janku free Bonito coming into Charlie. Going to be capturing that as quickly as possible. Muna coming in for myself to help resupply the Komars. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to be talking incredibly quickly for no particular reason, because this is basically a sporting event now, where things are just happening all over the place. But anyway. And we've even got an Anushka coming in from Nida as well, just to help secure Alpha. Probably sees the helicopter coming, I don't know. Let's just have a look, actually. Nope, he actually sees literally nothing. And as for myself, I see almost everything. I don't see the what is it, the Nunushka? Oh, there we go, actually I do see it now coming in, and also seeing the reinforcing Janku Free coming in. Oh no, I don't see the Muna or the other Tarantula Free from here though, so on the other hand I definitely do have the sight advantage over my opponent, and as you know, or should know, modern naval and air combat, quite a bit of it does come down to you know, being able to detect your opponents and them not being able to detect you. So on that front I'm doing pretty well, and I'm also doing pretty well in terms of score points as well. So opponent's definitely not out of the match though, definitely does have some pretty significant ships deployed, I suppose you could say. It doesn't have any river-going ships or even coasters, I believe. I believe these are not coasters. Oh, they actually are, I'll be damned. Can I actually go through here, though? I'm not 100% sure, actually, if they can go through here or not. I was thinking this is more for river-going ships. Or maybe it is for coasters. I don't know. Maybe he's going to send something through there, or maybe he's just sending the Ninushka after the Z9C to stop me from eavesdropping or peeking against him, but we'll see what happens. Peeking against him. Peeking on him. You know what I mean. God. God, I've seen better days. But anyway, actually going to be sending in my own Jianku Free just to capture Echo as well. Nita does have +1 points coming in because he's got all 3 of these. About to get this one though. And he's going to probably stabilise the scoreboard a little bit before I manage to get the Jianku Free there though. And unfortunately he does manage to take out, I think he sends this Ninushka out to take out my helicopter. Should have been a little bit more careful, but well, what can you do? Koma is going to be sent out as well. And we'll see how that works out. These Trenchals, as well as being glass cannons, they are actual cannons. Don't have particularly good range. Ninushka on the other hand doesn't have particularly good range either actually, so they're perfect for the Komas, and I'm probably going to be targeting all these guys on one single ship actually, just to make sure that it dies, I suppose. And there we go, actually managing to blow up both of them thanks to collateral damage. So very nicely done actually, if I do say so myself, managing to tear the hide from his little fleet that he's got going on there. Actually that's the north, so this is going to be the east, yeah, from the north there, yeah, east. So yeah, tearing the hide from his eastern fleet there. He's going to be responding with a couple of anti-ship missiles from his Fabao. Bit of a cheapish aircraft to use actually. Oh no, it's not that cheap actually. Pretty good ECM. Turn radius could be a bit better. The speed is pretty good though. And I don't really have too much to reply to that. I don't actually have too much in terms of anti-air. The Komas are, well, they're shooting at him, I suppose. That's something. But actually, what I should have done is I should have kept the Komas around here, because it's not like as if they're going to get targeted by anti-ship missiles. The problem is, though, is that they have to get resupplied, and the Muna can get targeted because it's oh, actually, the Muna's a river ship as well. I could swear that the Muna can get targeted by anti-ship missiles. I'm pretty sure it can be, even though it's only got river sailing characteristics there. Bizarre. Well, in any case, I'm pretty sure you can get targeted by anti-ship missiles, and yeah, you definitely don't want these things to blow up, that's for sure. Especially since I've only got one single card of them, and I'm relying heavily on units with missiles on them, but then again, so is my opponent actually. But well, his mod is still alive though. He does have a couple of Ninushkas, so just chilling out there. Nice relaxing scenery, bit of sand. Yeah, pretty nice actually, kind of picturesque actually. But yeah, it's also got a Jianku Free as well, just keeping an eye on things as well, coming in from this vector. That's how you know you're really serious wargamer, when you say things like vector. But anyway, vector. Another Ninushka coming in. Okay. Well, I suppose their kills rating is pretty good actually. Let's just have a look. Oh, no it isn't, it's medium. So I don't know why he's going with so many. I mean, he has not seen any aircraft from me. I mean, of course you can assume that, you know, I've probably got a few aircraft that can be deployed, but he hasn't actually seen me deploy any of them, so really, he doesn't really know that I'm you know, whether or not I've actually got like an air-heavy doctrine or not. The only thing he's really seen deployed against me are Komars and Nudgeons, basically. Actually, he's probably seen my Trenchals as well. Not really sure why I'm bothering with them, actually. Yeah, I'm not really utilising them particularly well. You need a few of them, basically, for them to be really effective, because, yeah, they have limited amounts of anti-ship missiles, and, yeah, so, I mean, they got great range and all that, but you kind of need a few of them to, you know, to punch through the enemy's kills defences there. like what we're actually going to be seeing with those Komas, in fact, going to be punching right through. And is a Junker going to try? Yes, it is. Bam. And just like that, Charlie is decapped. And as myself, yeah, managing to get +2 coming in. Score looking pretty good for myself, but as I said, my opponent definitely not out of the match just yet, though. Going to be sending in a Fabal, the same one I'm assuming, the only one he seems to have. And why not? My anti-air coverage is not that great, actually. He's going to be counteracting with his Nanushkas, and good decision, actually. My Komars need to get resupplied. My Tarantulas, on the other hand, they actually do have... Well, they're fully loaded with anti-ship missiles, and they're... Oh, no. Well, one of them running out of missiles, and the other one hasn't even launched them yet. But actually, I do manage to take out his Nanushka, though. I think that was a Nanushka, or was it a Tarantula? One or the other, I managed to take it out, bizarrely enough, but yeah. Down go my ships, because again, due to collateral damage, I put them too close to each other, kind of like what my opponent did earlier on. Should have learned from his mistakes, actually should have learned that a long time ago, but I just was not paying attention. Pretty sure the Tarantulas, they do actually get some decent... Of course, now there's no more Tarantulas on the map. I'm pretty sure they do get decent kills, though. Kills. Totally killer. But anyway, and again the Fabal coming in, because why not, eh? Why not indeed? Well, another Janku coming in as well, just to shore up the numbers, I guess, and yeah, the Komars are going to be getting resupplied as quickly as possible, thankfully. Except for this one, though, I should have been paying a bit more attention to him. Probably doesn't matter too much, though. One missile is probably not going to make too much of a difference. And finally, bringing in my own Air Force here, the Su-27K, which I believe is the only... Oh, very nice. I believe is the only, the only packed naval plane that actually gets fire and forget radar missiles. The other ones, I believe, are semi-active rather than fire and forget. So there you go. Too bad that I don't make him linger a bit longer for his Fabal that's coming in, but I guess I didn't really want to linger too long because of these bloody Nanushkas, which are actually going to be sent up right into the fray. They have, yeah, that's right, they're the ones with the medium Qs. Fabal going to be evacuating Winchester, and yep, these guys are almost dead, actually. At the very least, I do manage to take out one of his Nanushkas. Unfortunately, one of them is still alive, though, and yep, these ships, again, all this collateral damage is bloody ridiculous, actually. How we keep leaving our ships too close to each other, but, oh well. And yeah, the Munai can indeed get targeted by anti-ship missiles. And he's got no defenses against that. The Komars don't have any kills either to use against it, to use against the anti-ship missiles. And yeah, the Munna's just going to die, unfortunately. At the very least, though, I did manage to get my Komars away from him. I was about to send them along with the Munna as well, but managing to get them out of there just in the nick of time, so they basically don't really take any damage at all. Nanushka is going to be coming in, though. Thankfully, it's not a command ship, so it's not going to take command of Foxtrot. Otherwise, this really could be a major disaster for myself. He is being forced to basically resupply all the way from Bravo. Thank God for that. God damn. And all the Komars, I believe, are still alive. So, yeah, once they get resupplied by this surviving Munna, they... actually, yeah, that's right. I think that was actually a fully supplied Munna as well that was taken out. So, whoops, it kind of sucks, but oh well. In any case, once these Komars do get resupplied, they can easily take out the Nanushka. But, yeah, we just need to wait for that to happen. Another Nanushka is going to be coming in to reinforce. And the Tarantula, though, thank God he's not... sending in any command ships or anything like that to capture Foxtrot, but still quite the tricky match indeed. Su-27K coming in to intercept the Fabal. It might work. Nope, he manages to get out of there scot-free, at the very least heavily damaged, but he did manage to damage my Najin though, so... Yes, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Actually, I should have just sent him up against the Nanush... Oh, no, I shouldn't, actually, because of the... this bastard having such long-ranged anti-ship missiles. And of course another fucking Su-27K coming in. One anti-ship missile and manages to hit square and true. Really annoying how he's doing that, but... Well, that's what the Air Force is there for. Yeah, to bomb the shit out of stuff and to stop other stuff from getting... your own stuff from getting bombed. But anyway. At the very least, the Komars, do have a few of them resupplied. Only 3 of them though, the rest of these still need to be resupplied. And at the very least I do have a nice little crossfire happening with the 2 Jianghu free frigates. And Going to be firing off a couple of their own anti-ship missiles, not firing them in unison though. Not that seems to make much of a difference, and Anushka is not really... Oh no, it is stopping them. So there you go. There you go. More of these planes continuing to come in, the Fabal really being a pain in the ass. There goes the nudge in, but the SU-27K managing to come into the fray though. Too late though, the Fabal manages to get out though. Very unfortunate indeed. And yeah, I should just use a single anti-ship missile. Actually, I think... Yeah, the range on it should be good. Yeah, 6,300 compared to 3,500. You actually might be able to outrange it without even getting shot to pieces. And in fact, it might actually be doing that. Yep, there we go, launching a single missile. Is it going to end up doing anything? It is. Well, there we go. Too bad I didn't do that earlier on. Now down goes that single Tranchal. I believe that's what it was. Still have to worry about the Nanushkas and the Munas, but and also the SU-27K for that matter. Actually, these Komas should be a bit further forward, actually, to provide a bit of screening against the fighter, but against enemy fighters. But what the hell? I mean, at the very least, I do seem to be on the ball with my own fighters. And there we go. Actually, finally managing to take out one of my opponent's fighters. I think that's the first fighter down for the entire match. And yep, just going to crash rather dramatically and sink into the briny depths. Still, as you can see, Nieder does still have me on the back foot though. He's had me on the back foot for quite some time, and he's got +1 points coming in. I do still have more score points than he does, but yeah, he's got a little bit of a foothold next to Foxtrot. It might not last though. He's got a single Nanushka, which is a bit of a glass cannon as well, actually, for its cost. Not as much as the Tranchal though, and with all these Komas firing, it's probably not going to last in any case. So just follow the missiles as they come in, because that looks really fancy, and down it goes. Bam. Very nicely done. So now we don't have to worry about that. We've still got one Anushka and a Muna remaining. Actually, I'm not really sure why he's keeping these ships here, in fact. He's trying to establish a bit of a stronghold here, but all that's really happening is that he's just letting his stuff getting picked off slowly but surely, and more Koma is also going to be firing off missiles, and he's actually managing to intercept pretty much all of them except for that one, which of course fucking misses, because why not? This thing's got next to no health, so basically anything will take it out. Even a strong breeze will probably capsize this thing, but nope, it's just going to continue steaming ahead, and despite the fact that it's on fire. And yeah, just going to get slowly but surely repaired and rearmed by the Muna. So not exactly much of a strong point here. It's going to be reinforced by the Hujian, which is, yeah, it's got good kills. Pretty decent price, probably because of the fact that it's not a command ship, and the fact that its main gun is pretty shitty, and its third weapon is just basically dedicated kills there, which I suppose can attack air units, mostly helicopters. Everything else it can't really target with its shitty range, but I suppose it's better than nothing. It's mostly there for its anti-ship missiles. It's actually got pretty good, decent range on them, 8,750. Not quite as much as the... Oh, actually it's got Fabal coming in. Not as much as the Tranchals and the Sovereign and the Udaloy, but still quite a bit actually. And then Anushka taking a bit of damage there. Koma sending in a missile there. Will it hit true? Yes, it will. There goes the Nanushka, I believe. But hold the phone though. We do have enemy planes closing in. Let's just hide the HUD actually, and see how they're going to fare. Two of them actually. This is going to be a bit interesting to see if anything's going to happen. Missiles coming in, and ouch, doing a bit of damage there. Very unfortunate. None of my own planes coming in to counteract that. Very unfortunate, probably because they were still repairing and rearming and all that. The Junko Free is still alive though. Probably should get my Komas away from that though. But it's still alive. I suppose that counts for something. Komas need to get resupplied, and well, what the hell, then we can just continue... Well, continue trying to destroy this little foothold that opponent's got here actually. As you can see though, his own points here are not exactly heavily defended, and oh, actually he's sending in some anti-ship missiles my way. I seem to be stopping them though, thankfully. So a couple of Jankus doing that, very nicely done indeed, very nicely done. Sending up their own anti-ship missiles, which actually might be able to do something. Nope, we actually do have a bit of a crossfire being set up with the Hujian and the Nanushka Free, so... Nah, these anti-ship missiles need to be disabled, but it looks like I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let them get shot at, because why not? Koma is also going to be firing eventually. It looks like I'm actually marking them a bit there to make sure that they all fire at the same time. Or actually, no, these ships are actually retreating. That's what happened. Well, that's what's happening basically. And at the same time, we do have anti-ship missiles being fired by the Fabao. Su-27K is managing to ward them off. But hold the phone. Another Fabao coming in. Su-27K is thankfully 27K, should I say. Thankfully, did not retreat though, and they might actually be able to take out the Fabao. Yep, down he goes. Will the Janko Free survive though? Nope, he does get taken out though. But the Fabao does get taken out at the same time. Nita does have +2 points coming in though, so things looking kind of critical for me actually. 11 minutes to go, and Nita is getting +2 points coming in, and he's got more planes coming in out the fucking wazoo by looks of things. I just have quite a few Komas and such, but I'm basically down to one single Muna. I believe you only get like one, well, every card of Munas I think is only like 3 each. I lost one, the other one has been depleted, so just one left. Thankfully though, this thing's only got one single anti-ship missile, so not be able to do, won't be able to do too much with that against the stuff that I've got here. But things are definitely looking pretty critical for myself though. But what the hell, just have one single Junko free, but that's it actually. And yeah, definitely need another one out as quickly as possible. Going to be getting a another helicopter for recon, bizarrely enough. Despite the fact that I've got 2 here, I could easily just keep this one and send this one up towards here somewhere presumably, but well, there you have it. We'll see what happens. The Komas, on the other hand, are actually going to venture forth. Junko Free managing to barely stop all the anti-ship missiles and just as well. And well, it really has got to be basically cornered. Well, as he's basically had me for quite a bit of the game actually, and his score points is almost going to be matching my own. Just a couple of minutes, more anti-ship missiles coming my way, but thankfully he's not launching them in. Sorry, he's not launching them in salvos. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not launching them in salvos, so yeah, managing to basically shoot the vast majority of them down. One's not getting shot, are basically missing me by a pretty wide margin actually, so yeah, not really sure why he's not launching them as a salvo actually. Very strange. So thankfully Jianghu Free definitely holding its own, thank God for that, and Huijan's being depleted of all their missiles. Nanushka does have a couple of its own missiles, but not actually using them for whatever reason. Maybe actually maybe the island's in the way, I don't know. Could be the terrain. Most likely Su-27K is also going to be coming in, but the Komars are going to be screwing with him a bit though, but yeah, he's still going to get out of there just as my Su-27Ks come in though. Oh well. And here we go, here comes the pride of the Soviet Navy, or at least the pride in this game's Soviet Navy, the Udaloy 2 destroyer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're in real life. These things are actually meant to be used as anti-submarine destroyers rather than anti-surface warfare ships, or just surface warfare ships, I believe, not anti-surface warfare ships, just surface warfare ships. But anyway, God, getting fucking tongue-tied. But in either case, whatever, they're pretty good in this game. That's all you need to know. Great anti-ship missiles, great gun, great health. Speed is also pretty good, actually. Well, yeah, it's not that great compared to the Congo, but still pretty good, actually. And yeah, there you go. The Komas, did they actually launch off some missiles? I think they did, actually, while I was going on about the Udaloy 2. Whoops. Oh, there you go. And look at this. Komas getting into Nasser line, maybe to take out the Junko Freeze. And I see going to be peeking. And does he actually see anything? Well, actually, I'm looking at my view. I do see the Junko Free, and he doesn't see anything, though. See, he literally does not know what's going to happen very shortly. 4 Komas is going to be enough, though. Well, just have to wait and see. And yeah, there we go. Udaloy is going to be deployed to Delta, just so I can get my score points coming in again. When I just hanging out there to, I don't know, act as an early warning thing, I guess. And yeah, the Huijans and the Nushka just going to get resupplied by Nida. And yeah, it does actually have the Su-27K coming in. Actually, can it spot the stuff here? Yep, it can. It actually uses the cannon against the Komas there. Can't really do too much damage there. And here we go. Here come the missiles from the Komas. Are they going to be enough? Well, nope, they're not. God. Half of them fucking missing, of course. If another one... Actually, another... Yeah, I think if another one hit the Junko Free, that thing will be fucking dead. But nope. These fucking missiles could have a bit more accuracy there, but nope. Too bad. So now they're being forced to retreat. And yeah, just dueling a bit with the Su-27K there. And Esmone being a little bit conservative there, actually. Probably didn't want to get too far into enemy lines there. Probably could have afforded to stay in the battle for a few extra seconds, but, well, whatever. There you have it. Fabao going to be coming into counterattack, and Junko Free is not dead yet. Not dead, but definitely weakened. Hopefully I'm going to be sending in something to follow that up. We'll see what happens. Koma is getting attacked a little bit by cannons, but yeah, the cannons not really going to do too much damage against him. And evacuating straight over the Udaloy too. Very nice for myself. So yeah, good job Udaloy too. Good job indeed. So just going to be standing over there, standing guard. Going to be revealing his presence as well, but yeah, whatever. It's an Udaloy, for God's sake. He can afford to reveal his presence. And yeah, all of a sudden now my opponent is sort of on the back foot a bit. He does have an Udaloy 2 of his own coming in, despite all the losses that he's had, and my Z9C hopefully is going to spot that. Yep, in fact I can actually see it from the spawn even. Although if I'm not careful I might actually get my Z9C shot down though. We'll keep an eye on that. At the same time, we do have a counterattack by Hujins and Nanushkas. What is going to happen? We're going to get MiG-29Ks coming in, MiG-29Ks coming in. I've got to get used to actually calling them that. But, oh, actually almost managed to get a hit there. MiG-29K coming in, I believe the first dedicated anti-ship plane to send in, and actually did manage to take out, I think that was a Huijin. These guys definitely getting pretty heavily damaged. This guy's shaken but not stirred, almost dead though, so could get killed off pretty quickly though. Another MiG-29K coming in though. Should have actually sent them in all at once, but whatever. Taking out 2 more ships thanks to collateral damage. This one getting panicked and pretty heavily damaged, so basically managing to blunt the assault on Echo there. Very nicely done, and these Komas are going to be following up as well to take out this Huijin. In fact, I'm not really sure why I'm not really sure why Nida is actually keeping his Huijin out there. Can you actually see it? Well, they can see them now. You can definitely see the Komas now. There we go, all of them getting into range there. And about to all launch off their missiles. This is going to be spectacular. Let's get front view seats to that actually, provided that actually hits. And they do, God forbid. Down he goes. Very nicely done if I do say so. So yeah, now my opponent is actually going to be sending in another Su-27, not 27, but Su-27K, because why not, I guess. Not really sure why he's actually going to be sending it out. He knows that I've got quite a bit in terms of anti-air to send out against him, and he's actually going to fly next to the Komas. Yep, they're going to shoot at him. Su-27K's dueling there, but I've got the support of all of these ships. Komas, as you can see, yeah, just shooting the crap out of him, and my Su-27K, I'm not really sure if he actually finished him off or whether it was Komas, but really, he basically flew straight into into the crossfire there, really. I don't know what he was thinking of that, especially since he probably, I mean really, that's more of a an air superiority fighter, really, because it's only got a single anti-ship missile. Although the single anti-ship missile that it has, it seems to be far more durable than the others. I don't know if they actually do have different durabilities for anti-ship missiles or not, but yeah, it does seem to last a bit longer than the other ones, so I suppose that's something. It's something, I guess. But is it going to hit the Muna? Yep, it is. Bam. And it actually did have some supplies in it as well. I think I've actually, exhausted all my. Nope, this one actually does have some after resupplying these Komas. Going to be resupplying these ones. And then that's it for supplies. We do have the Udaloy 2 by my opponent. Junko Free is coming into position. He might actually... Interesting. Well, if he makes an attack happen with the Udaloy 2... Yeah, the problem is that I've got my own Udaloy 2 along with Komas and other things to support. And a Trancho Free, because why not? So it's not like as if I've got nothing against his super capital ship there. Zooming on the wrong thing there for a second there, but anyway. I mean, if he maybe sent in his Junko Freeze to support, he might have had something happening, but yeah. He needs them to capture these points, basically. And one of them is probably going to get destroyed by these MiG-29Ks anyway, given how weakened it is. We'll see what happens. And down he goes. Bam. Almost taking out one of the MiG-29Ks. Panicked, but not destroyed though. And that is that. GG. Yes. Still, very tense game actually, and goes to show you that, yeah, naval games can be pretty damn exciting nonetheless. Well, actually, I think my other naval games also showed that to different extents, and Yeah, I mean, it shows that even, in mirror matches, players can go for pretty wildly different doctrines, even in naval games, as you can see. So definitely interesting to see how that played out against these two intrepid players. Very nicely done indeed. So I shall see you all next time.